see an international student is involved in a car accident and then they
Ya,
get confused, they don't know what to do,
ya,
and they call me. I just feel so honored karena oh my gosh, like you're in the right place.
ya,
Apalagi buat teman-teman viewersnya Roland yang mau ke Amerika
ya.
atau udah di Amerika dan mau berkarir di
Hmm.
Amerika. So to be honest with you, the first few years that I was here, beberapa tahun pertama aku di sini, aku nggak terlalu main sama orang Indonesia.
Mungkin personal injury ya. Apa yang kira-kira orang-orang sering tangkap salah gitu?
Time karena
Ya,
aku advocate for that,
ya.
dan the more people know me now, jadi mereka udah lebih percaya ya. Cuman emang awal-awal mereka kayak paling I would say tantangan paling terbesarnya adalah kasus Lion Air
Hmm.
JT610.
Ya.
So Lion Air JT610 itu adalah salah satu kasus personal injury yang aku tanganin, di mana
Ah.
kita nge-sue.
Oh, wow. Jadi waktu yang kasus itu, semua yang maksudnya orang Indonesia ya, mereka jadi maksudnya pakai servisnya Saskia buat. Oke, datang lagi ke podcast saya yang eh, di Amerika. Dan kali ini bintang tamunya, narasumbernya ini bukan mengomong soal real estate ya, tapi ini merupakan seorang pengacara atau attorney kalau di sini, yang mungkin Bapak banyak orang pikir mungkin nggak terlalu penting gitu ya buat mengetahui apa apa bagusnya mengenal attorney atau ya calling attorney once in a while. Tapi ini sangat penting dan interesting sekali ya. Jadi ada bersama saya pada hari ini Saskia Putri. Halo, Bu Saskia.
Hai Roland.
Iya, iya terima kasih udah bisa ada di ini ya di podcast saya pada hari ini
My
atas waktunya.
pleasure.
Iya,
Sama-sama.
iya mungkin buat banyak orang mungkin juga belum tahu ya siapa ini Saskia Putri. Mungkin ya Saskia bisa men ya mengenalkan dirinya.
Yes, thank
Mhm.
you. Hai semuanya, para viewersnya Roland. Nama aku Zaskia Putri, biasa dipanggil Zaskia. Aku asalnya dari Jakarta, Indonesia. Terus aku berangkat ke Amerika sekitar 8 tahun lalu untuk kuliah. Terus akhirnya kuliah hukum, dan pada akhirnya aku lulus, ambil bar exam di sini, dan kemudian aku dapat kerja, and then finally got my green card dari kerja, and then now I live here and I work here as an attorney.
Oh,
So
ya. Wow. Jadi Saskia ini dari Indonesia juga sudah attorney ya?
betul, jadi
Ah,
sebelum aku berangkat ke Seattle, jadi awal aku berangkat ke Amerika itu aku landednya di Seattle, I never
ah,
left, I still
ya.
live in Seattle. Sebelum aku berangkat ke sini, aku udah praktis di Indonesia sebagai corporate law gitu. Jadi aku
Hmm.
di Indonesia itu juga ambil kuliah hukum, dulu kuliahnya di Fakultas Hukum UI.
Oke, oke, oke. Wah, ini menarik juga ya. 8 tahun ya sudah di sini ya, Bu Saskia ya.
Yes.
Ah, jadi selama kan pernah kerja di Indonesia sebagai attorney dan juga di Amerika sebagai attorney ya.
Mhm.
Bagaimana perbedaannya bagaimana Saskia? Apakah mirip-mirip aja atau ada perbedaan besar?
Definitely not. Sangat-sangat beda.
Mhm.
I think to start with, yang menurut aku perbedaannya paling jelas adalah sistem hukumnya. Mungkin kalau viewersnya Roland di sini ada yang sekolah hukum atau berpraktek di bidang hukum, udah pada tahu ya kalau di Indonesia itu kita menganut sistem civil law dan di Amerika itu kita menganut sistem common law. So the way we do trial is totally different between Indonesia and United States. That's
Hmm.
number one. Not just trial, but basically the legal system kan. And then the next thing yang menurut aku sangat beda banget adalah even dari type of practice that I did back home sama type of practice that I currently do here di Amerika. Jadi waktu aku di Indonesia itu practice aku adalah merger and acquisition, corporate law. So I didn't really go to court. We pretty much negotiated deals, um, buy and sell shares.
Hmm.
Whereas here, my focus is on personal injury law. And
Hmm.
I do litigation and trials gitu. Jadi aku ke court, aku
Mhm.
hearing, I do a lot of litigation stuff that I didn't even do back home. Dan di mana di Indonesia pun kayaknya nggak ada deposition deh, karena discovery prosesnya pun beda between Indonesia sama US. Itu sih dua hal yang menurut aku paling
Hmm.
jelas perbedaannya among other things.
Ya, bisa tolong dijelasin ya Saskia, maksudnya personal injury itu seperti apa ya case-nya?
Ya, thank you.
Hmm.
Dan menurut aku ini menarik banget karena di Indonesia sendiri itu, to the best of my knowledge, belum ada law firm yang khusus fokus di personal injury law. They
Hmm.
might do personal injury, but it's not focused on there. Mungkin
Hmm.
salah satu contoh yang paling hit so close to home adalah kasus Lion Air
Hmm.
JT 610.
Ya.
So Lion Air JT610 itu adalah salah satu kasus personal injury yang aku tanganin, di mana
Ah.
kita nge-sue Boeing, dan
Oh.
aku with the firm that I work with at that time, we represented Indonesian families. So that is one
Ah.
of the types of personal injury di mana kita memintakan kompensasi kepada pihak yang um, cause the accident, yang membuat
Oke.
kita cedera. Dan cederanya itu bisa, injury, sakit, atau in that Boeing case, meninggal dunia. So it's
Hmm.
wrongful death.
Oh, wow. Jadi waktu yang kasus itu semua yang maksudnya orang Indonesia ya,
Mhm.
mereka jadi maksudnya pakai servisnya Saskia buat go against Boeing gitu ya.
Correct. Mhm.
Oh, iya iya iya. Apa itu waktu itu juga dibantu sama pemerintah Indonesia atau itu lebih kayak personal ya?
It's private. It's
Oke.
we're not, yeah. Well, let me put it this way. Jadi
Aha.
pemerintah Indonesia nggak secara langsung serta merta membantu
Iya,
case-nya, karena nggak ada hubungannya sama
iya,
pemerintah in a way.
iya.
But during the process, we did a lot of investigations, right?
Hmm.
Because what we were alleging is that cacat dari manufakturnya, di
Hmm.
mana Boeing tidak membuat, I think that at that time the problem was the MCAS
Oke.
um, technology. It wasn't developed or maintained properly, right? So in
Hmm.
that regard, kita juga did a lot of investigation regarding the plane, the pilot
Ya.
training, and yada yada yada. So
Hmm.
in that way, kita of course berhubungan dengan pemerintah Indonesia juga
Iya.
gitu.
Iya, iya. Dan kebetulan juga Boeing lagi ada di Seattle ya. Jadi
Yes,
close,
yes, di
very close.
Washington State.
Iya, iya,
Iya.
iya. Wah, jadi itu mungkin kalau bisa dibilang case besarnya ya. Kalau buat personal
Yes,
injury like a major.
yes.
Kalau misalnya case misalnya nih ya, Bu Saskia ya kan karena di kebanyakan biasanya di Seattle ini datang-datang misalnya kan student ya, mereka kan
Mhm.
sini sekolah di college atau di university. Mungkin ya selain sekolah mungkin orang dia punya keluarga datang buat visit. Ada nggak yang misalnya yang lebih kayak yang small case for personal injury seperti apa ya yang biasanya orang-orang sering call attorney for?
Iya,
Nah,
ada banget.
hmm,
Karena aku juga not, excuse me, aku
aha,
adalah the only Indonesian speaking personal injury attorney di Washington
hmm,
State.
oke.
So I get a lot of calls
Ya.
dari diaspora Indonesia, bahkan
Oh,
nggak yang cuma tinggal di Washington State, tapi juga di state-state lain. Jadi
oh,
biasanya kejadiannya itu kecelakaan mobil, pernah
ya,
juga pedestrian versus driver. Jadi korbannya orang Indonesia lagi jalan ditabrak mobil.
ya,
Um, Kita juga handle slip and fall. Dan ini kayaknya nggak ada di Indonesia. Jadi misalnya kita lagi pergi ke suatu tempat,
ah,
either most likely business
ya,
location,
mhm,
department store, grocery store, and some stuff like that.
mhm,
Terus mereka jatuh
Ya,
karena that business does
ya,
not maintain the safety of their
ya.
surroundings or the area, so we do that too.
Oke.
Tapi yang paling sering adalah kecelakaan mobil sih,
Hmm.
gitu. Dan
Iya,
aku
iya.
justru, and thank you so much for bringing this up, karena
Aha.
one of my, not one, a lot actually of my clients itu adalah international students, and
Ah.
it hits so close to home karena aku juga datang ke sini sebagai international student. So when I see an international student is involved in a car accident and then they get
Ya,
confused, they don't know what to do,
ya,
and they call me, I just feel so honored karena, oh my gosh, like you're in the right place, you
ya.
know. I know exactly how you feel being an international student. You just want to study and then this happened to you, and
Mhm.
thankfully, I'm able to help you. So yeah.
Oh, that ya, good to know. Ya, saya juga waktu itu tahunya Saskia dari teman yang kecelakaan ya. Jadi
Yes,
dia
yes.
bilang, ini yang atau dia bantu saya orang Indonesia. Oh, siapa? Boleh dong, minta ininya informasinya penting nih.
Bener, yeah. I mean,
Iya, iya.
I never wish that upon anybody for
Mhm.
people to contact me for that reason.
Iya, iya, iya.
Truly, I think it's just, man, every time I get a call for, a
Hmm.
number and it's Indonesian, more likely than not, hey, can you help me with something? Which I'm
Iya,
very honored, even though at the end, maybe I'm not able to help that person because it's not
iya.
my practice. I will always try to reroute that
Mhm,
ke
mhm.
attorney lain yang lebih
Iya,
appropriate. But
oke.
it's just, it's an honor for me untuk dikontak sama orang-orang Indonesia
Iya.
untuk nanyain pertanyaan-pertanyaan hukum
Hmm.
gitu. Although hopefully they don't have to do that too often, but if
Mhm.
they have to, I'm here.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, jadi buat attorney ini ya, soalnya begini ya, Saskia ya, kalau buat realtor, kita kan license-nya itu per state ya. Jadi saya
Yes.
misalnya nih kan karena license di Washington State, jadi saya kalau di luar Washington State saya nggak bisa do some
Mhm.
transaction yang di sana, jadi mesti deal with the local. Tapi kalau buat attorney itu bisa every state ya. Bagaimana itu kalau?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's actually a good question. It's the
aha,
same.
oke.
Jadi, dan ini juga bedanya sama attorney practicing law di Indonesia. Karena di Indonesia
Hmm,
itu kan ketika kita license, kita bisa berpraktek di seluruh Indonesia. Nggak cuma
ya,
di Jakarta, nggak cuma di Pulau Jawa, nggak cuma di suatu pulau lah gitu kan, bisa
ya,
semuanya. Karena I think the reason is because negara kesatuan Republik Indonesia kan, so everything is under the same
ya.
rules
Mhm,
and regulation. Whereas the United States, kita kan United States of America, so every state has their own jurisdiction. So untuk attorney juga sama, kita ketika kita license, kita bisa practice di state yang
hmm,
kita license itu.
hmm.
However, typically ketika aku dapat case di state lain, biasanya aku kerjasama sama local council di sana gitu.
Iya, iya, iya. Tapi kalau misalnya buat mereka yang tadi yang seperti Bu Saskia bilang ya, kayak buat student-student yang dari Indonesia yang mungkin bukan di Seattle saja ya, mungkin mereka di
Mhm.
kebanyakan kan biasa anak-anak Indonesia di California ya, di LA
Yes.
atau di East Coast di New York tetap nggak bisa ya kalau mau misalnya mau tanya jawab mau bertanya soal personal injury case begitu juga masih bisa.
Yes, yes. Aku juga banyak beberapa dapat case di California, and
Oh, oke.
then yes, and then di Washington DC, di
Ah,
Maryland, and I think I had one or two in New York.
oh
Karena
wow,
kita
oke.
punya KJRI di San Francisco kan, dan kita
Oh,
punya
that's right.
KBRI di Washington DC.
Ya.
So for some reason, and I'm so thankful, I'm so honored, teman-teman di Kedubes
Ya.
RI di SF dan di Washington DC, kalau ada apa-apa mereka kontaknya ke aku gitu.
Iya, 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 benar-benar. Memang seperti yang tadi Saskia bilang ya, saya juga kaget kalau tahu ada, biasanya kan kita dari Indonesia kan, oh ada nggak yang orang Indonesia ini? Kalau buat attorney, ini pertama kali sih saya dengar, oh ada ya?
Yeah, yeah.
Jadi kayak, wah ini
Because I
pasti,
think, yeah, and it's because, to be fair, it's just a long process. Nggak semuanya
ya,
mau go through this pain
ya,
and suffering.
ya, 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 ya,
Kebanyakan mereka datang ke sini, even mereka go to law school, at the end of the day mereka pulang
balik
buat
ya.
lanjutin karirnya di
Betul.
Indonesia.
Ya.
dan pass the bar pun di sini nggak gampang. So I think that
Hmm.
makes it even more narrow
Ya.
gitu. Dan mungkin emang nggak semua orang pengen practice law because it's just not, it's not a walk in the park. So I
Iya,
don't
iya,
blame
iya.
them.
Iya, 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 iya. Eh, itu dulu jadi kenapa bisa pilih ke Seattle, Saskia-nya?
It's actually a very interesting story. Not
Aha,
interesting, silly, I would say.
aha.
So, before I came here 8 years ago, I had never been to United States, even for holidays
Oh,
or vacation. Eight
oke.
years ago was literally the first time I came to United States. So,
Oke.
when I was applying for this school, I went to UW Law, University of
Aha.
Washington.
Yep.
Right. So when I was applying for that school, aku juga in the middle of working. Aku work
Ah,
di Jakarta kan. Aku juga
y-
kerja sebagai lawyer. So I was just so busy. Like during the day, I had to work, and then after that, I had to write my essays, get recommendation letters. Pokoknya rempong lah, ribet gitu kan.
ya.
So I just thought, oh, there's University of Washington. Cool. I'm gonna go to Washington D.C. I
Hmm,
didn't
hmm.
even do any further research because I thought University of Washington
Itu,
is in Washington D.C.
iya,
Uh,
iya.
that's so
Banyak yang
silly,
salah.
right?
Ya. Mhm,
And then I got accepted and everything, right?
mhm.
And then it came to the point where I had to kind of buy plane tickets, cari apartemen dan segala macam. Baru di situ aku realize, loh, kok alamatnya bukan di Washington
Di
DC?
sini ya.
Kok zip code-nya Seattle, Washington? And then I was like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, so I guess I'm going to Seattle, Washington.
Iya, 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 iya.
But I'm glad because I think it's meant to be. I'm really happy being here, and I
Good.
think things happen for a reason. I truly
Iya.
believe that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Ini
Mhm.
juga ya, menarik juga ya. Jadi,
Mhm.
waktu itu kenal, bagaimana kenal komunitas Indonesia di sini? Dari
Yeah.
teman.
So yeah, and I also, thank you so much for asking this
Aha.
question because I think this is one of the things that might be unpopular opinion.
Hmm,
But
oke.
I think it's really it could be an important point to bring up.
Ya,
Apalagi buat teman-teman viewersnya Roland yang mau ke Amerika
ya.
atau udah di Amerika dan mau berkarir di Amerika.
Hmm.
So to be honest with you, the first few years that I was here, beberapa tahun pertama aku di sini, aku nggak terlalu main sama orang Indonesia.
Ah,
The
oke.
reason is because I really wanted to stay here. Aku pengen banget stay di sini, aku pengen banget kerja di sini. And
Hmm.
I feel like kalau misalnya aku terlalu attached sama Indonesian community, I would feel too comfortable.
Hmm.
I
Ya,
would
ya,
not
ya.
practice my English. I would just hang out where they hang out,
Ya.
And so then what's the point of being 8,000 miles away from home if you still, play in your backyard, just like hang out di Senopati? You know what
Iya,
I mean?
iya, 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 iya.
So I purposely didn't hang out with them too much. Maybe kayak Thanksgiving, okay, aku ikutan potluck. Terus 4th of July, Christmas or whatever, potluck gitu aku ikutan. Cuma I
Mhm.
didn't hang out with them like that sampai aku dapet my H1B. That was my first step
Hmm.
buat dapet green card kan.
Oke.
So yeah, because the first few years aku kayak literally practice my English. I just hung out with like local people here, my friends from law school who are locals, and then just keep practicing my English, get assimilated so that I live like a local here. And then
Hmm.
also another reason is a lot of people who came here from Indonesia, they're international students. Dan
Correct.
mindset international students itu kan, apalagi kalau mereka kesini pakai beasiswa ya, they know they can only be here for certain period of time. Jadi mindsetnya mereka setiap ada break, oh spring break kita kesini, summer break kita kesini, which is not wrong at all because they will only be here maybe like 2 to 3 years, right?
Iya,
Jadi they
iya.
want to make the most of their time, and I
Mhm.
can't do that because I want to be here for a very long time, right?
Right.
Jadi ketika ada break, I chose to do internship so that I have
Hmm.
like a resume, and I mean I
Oke.
have like things on my resume like local experience. That alone is already different gitu.
Hmm.
Jadi kayak jadi I had to decide, I had to separate myself from them for that
Mhm.
reason because we're just going to different directions, as simple as that.
Iya, iya,
So,
iya, iya, iya.
the short answer to that, I didn't really hang out that much sama teman-teman Indonesia sampai aku dapat H1B. So
Oh,
now
wow.
I'm very comfortable. I already set my roots here. I'm all set. So now, I spend like more time hanging out sama orang-orang Indonesia.
Hmm. Kalau dari sebagai attorney, apakah lebih gampang dapat green card-nya atau sama aja pretty much like tech
Oh,
people?
um, yeah, I think green card is really case by case basis
Mhm,
ya,
mhm.
karena it really depends on your qualification, the
Oke.
basis of your green card and stuff like that. So I can't really answer to that. Tapi
Hmm.
what I know for sure, being attorney really puts you in a like different
Yeah,
category because you're a
yeah.
skilled labor.
Right, right.
Right, because you have to have certain credentials and
Mhm.
certain focus, and
Yeah,
especially me handling that Boeing case over
right.
in Indonesia, they need someone to and I'm that person who technically no American can do what I do because they don't speak the
Yeah,
language, they don't know the law back
yeah,
home. So that alone put me in like here.
yeah.
So that helps a lot. So
Ya, 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 bener sih. Memang ya, ya, I mean, buat certain apa namanya kayak skills itu ada different category ya. Kayak dokter kita kan juga kan mereka lebih cepat
yes.
daripada kebanyakan orang kedatang ke sini kan kerjanya tech ya lately.
Mhm.
Although sekarang nggak susah juga tech, but
Mhm.
anyway ada proses
Iya,
ininya.
iya,
Oh,
iya.
oke, good to know, good to know. Nah, ini ya, Saskia kan, buat orang Indonesia kan gini ya, misalnya contoh kalau saya nih di real estate, karena kan saya juga
Aha.
ngurusin kayak rental gitu ya. Kadang-kadang
Mhm.
kalau ada orang-orang dari Indonesia, kalau kita
Mhm.
bilang, oke, ini rental seperti ini, nanti tolong sign lease agreement ya. Kan orang
Mhm.
Indonesia tuh biasanya reluctant buat, aduh, mesti sign ya. Jadi
Mhm.
kesannya itu buat orang sana hukum itu kalau bisa dihindari, yang nggak penting, ya kalau menurut mungkin beberapa orang menurut nggak penting ya, tapi menurut kita
Mhm.
yang sudah di Amerika begitu lama, kita lihat kan
Mhm.
rules and regulation is very important.
Mhm.
Nah
Mhm.
ini buat mungkin nanti pendengar yang nonton dari Indonesia supaya tahu gitu ya. Uh, seberapa penting buat kita yang dari luar dari Indonesia datang ke sini buat go along with the rules and regulation yang ada. Misalnya as simple as sign lease agreement, tapi mungkin buat di case-nya sebagai attorney kan Bu, ini kan pasti lihat wah ini orang Indonesia nih pasti dikelakuan nih, nggak pernah mau ini. Nah, jadi dari segi mungkin personal injury ya, apa yang
Mhm.
kira-kira orang-orang sering tangkap salah gitu, Bu Saskia. Jadi maksudnya buat pelajaran
I
buat
see.
pendengar.
I see what you mean.
Ah,
Yeah.
ah,
That's also a good question because
ya,
I experienced that a lot. Tapi I think over time karena
ya,
aku advocate for that
ya.
dan the more people know me now, jadi mereka udah lebih percaya ya. Cuman emang awal-awal mereka kayak paling I would say tantangan paling terbesarnya adalah sebagai imigran mereka
Hmm,
agak takut buat bersentuhan dengan hukum.
iya.
Apalagi kalau misalnya paperwork mereka lagi on process, under review, or anything like
Ah,
that, kayak mereka, aduh nanti bakal ngaruh nggak ya?
ya,
So that kind of question that I will happily ask, excuse me, I
oke,
will happily answer, right?
ya, ah.
And then mereka juga takut, oh nanti kalau misalnya kita quote unquote kalah, nanti kita bayar nggak segala macam gitu. Terus
Ya,
kayak
ya,
ini kita tahu dari mana kalau misalnya bakal menang. Pokoknya
ya.
intinya bottom line is about trust issue, and I think it has got nothing to do with our like US legal system necessarily or even
Oke.
myself. I think justru unfortunately it stems from their trust issue with Indonesian legal system. Karena mungkin you and I both know di Indonesia banyak banget bribery,
Ya,
birokrasi-birokrasi
dari,
yang under the table, nggak jelas. Jadi kayak
ya,
banyak trust issue gitu kan dengan hukum. Jadi orang
ya,
kalau misalnya bisa menghindari hukum gitu. But I assured them like it's different.
ya,
Everything here is on record. If we want to file lawsuit, everything is on the system.
ya,
And yeah, it's just different. It's
ya,
different. So and then what I can share and I think it's really really empowering. Jadi aku
ya,
punya satu klien yang
ya.
at the end of the day aku jadi kayak family lawyernya mereka unfortunately
Oh,
karena the whole family at the end of the day got involved into an accident one by one.
oh,
Um, Yeah, not the same accident, but car
Okay.
accident one by one. So I ended up like being their family attorney. In a
Okay.
way, karena aku selalu represent keluarganya. Jadi yang
Ah.
menurut aku empowering banget. Jadi awalnya ibunya itu, which is yang kenal sama aku, itu
Ah.
takut banget kan, gimana kalau misalnya nanti anak aku gini, 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 gini,
Hmm.
pokoknya banyak banget. And then fast forward to 2 years later, once the case was settled and everything, and she called me, and she was even like furious. Zaskia, tau gak sih ada teman kita ini kecelakaan, aku lagi samperin, aku mau bantuin mereka buat telepon polisi, gini, 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 gini. I was like, wow, look at you go. I mean, so different than 2 years ago, because 2 years ago she was so scared. She's like,
Hmm.
are you sure? Are you sure? I don't want to do
Ah.
this. Like, no, just trust me. And then
Ya.
2 years later, because she knew how it goes. She knew how the law works here,
Ya.
and she
Ya.
feels empowered, right? So now she can be the advocate for other people. As simple
Nice.
as going to that car accident scene and then help her friend
Ya.
and then help call the police and do the right thing,
Ya.
So I just it is just it's I feel so honored, and it's beyond than just like the money or anything. It's more than anything, it's to instill that like empowerment in people's brain that like,
Mhm.
you know what, like this is the right thing to do and I'm gonna do it. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Ya, ya. Ya, itu ya memang penting sekali ya. Apalagi kayak kita datang dari luar dari Indonesia. Jadi penting sekali
Mhm.
buat hal-hal seperti ini. Kalau
Mhm.
ada kejadian apa-apa itu jangan takut buat, kan biasanya udahlah
Iya,
berdamai-damai aja nggak ya kan biasa gitu ya.
yes,
Berdamai
benar-benar.
ya damai. Oh, nothing wrong, ada polisi datang nih, takut nih. Tapi
Ya.
mungkin maksudnya ya buat kita yang sebagai pendatang dari Indonesia terutama ke sini ya lebih kayak open minded lah ya, karena negara di Amerika ini berbeda cara bagaimana orang menjalankan hukum dan memandang hukumnya. Ya, I think that's a very good one. eh
Iya.
Apa namanya? Jadi buat ini ya, kalau misalnya nih ada orang yang sekarang nggak tahu ya, apakah Saskia di Indonesia juga ada taking care kasus atau sekarang fully di Amerika?
So I mean, I live here 100%.
Aha,
I'm a resident
ya,
here, so I practice here 100%. But
mhm,
because I'm also licensed di Indonesia, aku
ya,
masih keep my Pradi license.
oke,
Jadi kadang ada beberapa, dan aku kan juga sekolah dulu di Indonesia kan di FHUI.
ya,
Jadi I'm so proud of my friends. Sekarang
ya,
teman-teman aku yang dulu sekolah bareng di FHUI, mereka kebanyakan udah pada punya law firm sendiri atau jadi
nice,
partner di mana. So mereka
ah,
kadang suka kontak aku buat nanya sesuatu atau kita kerjain
ah,
case bareng yang cross border. Jadi that
oke,
happens still sometimes, but it's not like
ah,
my primary focus. But
sure,
because
aha,
like you said kan, nggak banyak orang Indonesia yang practice di Amerika, so
ya,
every time we need something, they have
ya,
questions about US law, they contact me. And
ya,
again, I
ya,
feel
ya, ya,
so honored,
ya,
karena waktu aku di kampus, apalagi dulu zaman kuliah FHUI, I didn't do anything. I just like ke kantin, makan, minum es
ya,
teh, and then
ah,
I don't know.
ya, 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 ya,
I didn't
wow,
really study, so like
ya,
the fact kayak mereka percayain case ke aku, kayak thank you. Sebenarnya mereka yang kontak aku adalah mahasiswa berprestasi semuanya. Yang oh
ya,
my gosh, it's amazing.
ya, 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 wow. Tapi apa masih sering balik-balik ke Indonesia? Liburan gitu
Not
jarang ya?
really. No, when
Oh,
I
enggak.
was handling that Boeing case, oh my
Ah,
gosh, I went back and forth like so many times for four
oh
years.
ya, oh
Tahun
wow,
bisa
within 4 years.
Setahun bisa 2 kali. I think pernah ada satu tahun
Oh,
3 kali.
wow,
But that was for work. It's not like I
ya,
went back and then hang out with
iya,
friends, terus kayak party-party tuh enggak. I was literally,
right,
I stayed in a hotel with my boss and my
right,
partner and everything, and then work. Gitu
ya,
sih. Tapi sekarang udah nggak terlalu sering. Paling kalaupun pulang ya, buat visiting family, and that's all.
oke, oke.
Mhm.
That's good. Ya, ya, I think ini ya, mungkin sebelum kita akhiri nih podcast yang hari ini nih, mungkin ini ya Bu Saskia ya, kapan kita tuh mesti call attorney? I think that's the question ya. Apa misalnya nih ada kecelakaan nih, karena kan kita
Mhm.
tahu ya orang Indonesia kan rata-rata kalau belajar di sini, most of the time they have cars, they own cars, right? And then
Mhm.
maybe parents are here after buying cars, then they buy homes usually. Tapi maksud pertanyaannya adalah kapan mereka misalnya kecelakaan? Should they
Mhm.
just call attorney right away? Atau
Iya.
oh just let it the insurance company or Gimana tuh, Bu?
That's a good question. So,
Ah, ah,
and again, this is me saying like literally, genuinely
ya,
because I care. I want to look
ya,
out for people who
ya,
are injured in a car accident.
ya.
So, if you are injured in a car accident, immediately langsung call attorney gitu.
Oke.
Kalaupun at the end nggak jadi pakai service dari that attorney, it's fine karena personal
Hmm.
injury attorney, including myself, kita charge contingency fee. Jadi
Oke.
nggak bayar di awal. Jadi
Ah,
cara kita nge-charge adalah kita ambil persentase dari settlement yang didapetin. Jadi
oke.
kalau cuma untuk nanya-nanya, make sure kayak is everything okay,
Hmm.
kita ke depannya harus kayak gimana, itu that's all free.
Oke.
So it's important untuk call as soon as possible karena the sooner mereka call, the better kita bisa help. Karena kita
Oke.
bisa langsung kasih tahu step-stepnya ke depannya gimana. And
Ya.
the more important thing is that do not talk to insurance company.
Ah.
Jangan ngomong, pick up the phone, call mereka, kasih tahu semua informasinya because they will use it against you. Everything will
Nah.
be recorded, even your own insurance company.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mhm.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Ini penting ya teman-teman ya. Ini barusan ada informasi berharga nih. Jadi mendingan
Yes.
telepon dulu attorney ya sebelum even your
Yes.
insurance company. Wow, ini
Yes.
aku just baru pertama kali dengar juga. Oke, good to
Yes.
know and good to know you
Eh,
too.
Yes, and then
Ya.
once you're represented, let's say we end up working together, we will take care of it. Kita yang bakal ngomong ke insurance
Ya.
company kalian, so you don't even have to do that.
Oke,
Mhm.
oke. Nah, bagaimana kalau misalnya nih, ini misalnya ya, which is saya juga
Mhm.
nggak anjurkan ya. Misalnya kan mereka nggak ada insurance, gimana tuh, Bu Saskia?
Yeah, so it's a case
Aha,
by case basis.
aha,
Kalau
aha.
misalnya mereka nggak ada insurance, tapi mereka yang ditabrak,
Ah,
kita kan emang go after insurance yang nabrak
right,
kan. Jadi
right.
sebenarnya, doesn't really matter mereka punya insurance atau enggak. But
Oke,
kadang orang yang nabrak pun nggak punya
nggak ada.
insurance.
Iya, betul.
Exactly. So
Aha,
it is important to have your own insurance dan bukan cuma punya insurance aja gitu, tapi
ya,
punya coverage uninsured, underinsured liability. Jadi ketika
ya.
kalian ditabrak sama orang yang nggak punya insurance, kalian masih bisa dapetin kompensasi through your own insurance, underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage.
Oke,
So,
ya.
mhm.
Wow. Nah, ini penting sekali buat teman-teman di sini. Karena saya yakin orang-orang Indonesia di sini kebanyakan yang kerja pasti ada lah ya bisa mobilnya. Tapi kan student most of the time berapa bulan ke sini,
Yes.
they already have their cars, right? And then just
Yeah.
drive around. I
Yeah.
mean, kita kan nggak pernah tahu ya kecelakaan deh namanya ya. Kita nggak
Mhm.
pernah expect kayak I gonna
Benar.
hit someone or gonna hit this car. But
Yeah.
yeah, good to know. Jadi next time kalau pada ingat-ingat aja ada kejadian, telepon attorney dulu. Dan ya seperti
Yeah.
kalian bisa lihat di sini kita ada attorney dari Indonesia. Jadi bahasa Indonesia aman di cover ya.
Yes.
Jadi
Yes.
nggak usah ragu-ragu. Misalnya, aduh baru datang Inggris juga kurang jago nih takut dibohongi. Kan biasa kayak gitu ya. Kan
Benar,
Inggris nggak
benar.
lancar nih, nggak tahu saya tanda
Mhm,
tangan apa. Sekarang kita ada attorney dari Indonesia, jadi nggak usah takut.
benar. Jadi bisa tanya-tanya pakai bahasa Indonesia.
Iya, iya, iya. Oke, jadi nanti kalau misalnya ada orang mau hubungi Saskia, mungkin nanti saya kalau ada yang tertarik mungkin bisa kasih tahu saya ya. Jadi saya nanti bisa share informasinya Saskia.
Yes, I can
Ya,
also share my email
sure.
and phone number here. Ya,
Ya,
jadi
boleh.
kalau misalnya ada yang mau ditanya-tanya tentang apapun itu tentang hukum,
Ya,
bisa hubungin aku ke 206. Oh, plus satu ya, kalau kalian
ya.
di luar Amerika. But if you're
Mhm.
here,
Ya,
206-660-6939. Nomor itu juga ada WhatsApp-nya, karena biasanya orang
nice.
Indonesia suka pakai WhatsApp.
Ya,
And then my email address is just my first name, Zaskia at
ya.
zaskiaputri.com.
Oke, ya itu nanti saya juga masukin inform itu datanya di apa di detail di bawah. Jadi nanti bisa lihat ke bawah. Dan ya nanti kalau ada pertanyaan langsung seperti tadi Saskia aja bilang bisa kontak melalui WA ya. Jadi sangat
Yes,
convenient and comfortable sekali buat mau tanya jawab. Dan
yes,
open buat orang Indonesia di seluruh di Amerika ya, di mana aja
yes.
silakan tanya karena cuma ada satu so far yang kita tahu.
Ya,
Iya, iya,
thank you
iya.
banget ya Roland
Ya,
udah di-invite ke
ya,
sini.
thank you. Ya, looking forward for the next ini ya. Nanti kita mungkin kalau topik lagi, who knows, right?
Yes,
Kita bisa diskusi lagi di podcast saya kali ini. Ya, terima
yes, of
kasih ya, Saskia
course.
ya.
Thank you Roland, take care
Oke,
ya.
ya, oke,
Stay
bye-bye
dry.
now.